Alright, what up everyone? I'm here with another Men of War video. This time, it is another 3 vs 3 with J-Bob and VDP Steel as my partners on Dead River. It's Japan versus the United States. VDP Steel wanted me to put in a word for for him, so yeah, I'm just doing that right now. He's a good player, he knows what he's doing, and he's a pretty cool guy. So now that that's out of the way, I'll just get right into the action here. I'm covering the left flank this game, and actually there's quite a bit of action on my flank. There's also quite a bit of action in the middle and the right, but generally I don't watch that, sadly, because I'm kind of busy with my own flank, right? And then there, I say something in chat there. It's kind of funny and it's a joke, but I don't know. He probably doesn't watch these vids, but yeah. So I'm just spreading out my infantrymen like you should. And then I noticed that there's a jeep on the left there, Willie's jeep, and he's mowing down some of my infantrymen and already overrunning my lines this early in the game. Though all my infantry are pretty much dead, and I'm kind of worried. So I buy a Type 92, which is the armored vehicle, basically. And the Japanese armored vehicle, I really like it. It is like 15 to 20 millimeters of armor, and it has a whole bunch of machine guns, so it's very, very good against infantry and unarmed things like jeeps. And the only thing that can take it out is guns or cannons or bazookas. So they basically, or of course anti-tank grenades, but it's immune to gunfire, and that's the thing that counts. Very, very good scouting vehicle, probably one of the best in the game. So I'm still kind of spreading out my infantry here. I'm worried about where they're, if he's going to come back, because I know that he's not dead. He's trying to sneak through my lines there, so taking a bit of casualties. Not really worrying about the point at this moment. Oh, there I finally look at the point. I noticed an M3 Stuart there, and my ally has a Chiha 47. And right here, I think the Chiha fires and crushes the hull of the Stuart, so that's that Stuart's gone. There's a whole bunch of infantry all around there as well, and then they're dying. My ally J-Bob on the far right there has pretty advanced his infantry pretty far into their lines, and he's got kamikazes and everything basically. Point is pretty much idle. He's sending over some infantrymen that they're getting destroyed by the Chiha's HE rounds though, and there's a flamethrower guy as well, or our flamethrower guy, and he flames the enemy. Then I noticed a Stuart on the left flank as well, an M3 Stuart. I don't have any anti-tank weapons on the left flank at the moment, so I was kind of worried. I buy a Type 47 though, the Japanese light anti-tank gun. It's probably one of the best anti-tank guns in the game. 47 millimeters, bigger than any of the other sides light anti-tank guns, except, well, yeah, it's bigger than like the 2-pounder or whatever, but it's generally, I like it. It's a very good anti-tank. It fires pretty fast, good penetration. It's pretty comparable to the 2-pounder, definitely better than the Russian one. But yeah, so I'm just trying to advance that to get a beat on that Stuart. And as you can see on the mini-map there, J-Bob has some guys over there on the right flank and is attacking some vehicles and such. I'm not looking at it though, because apparently there's infantry advancing on my position at the moment. And then the Stuart as well. So I line up a shot on the Stuart and I fire. I destroy the turret of it and I try to target the hull, but the guy shoots again and I think he hits, but he cannot penetrate the hull at this distance, I don't think. Well, he probably could, but he just only got really a barely hit, so I'm just pretty much done with him and I move him up there. There's a Chaffee and an M19, a whole bunch of explosions there. There's a Chaffee moving up, as well as some machine gunners and such. And then basically, yeah, moving over my AT gun to a better position. And yeah, the Chaffee is moving down towards the middle of the map. And kind of menacing along with a machine gunner there. Still moving my anti-tank into position. He's got infantry over there, kind of hidden ahead. Not really a whole lot I can do about that. J-Bob buys a Type 90. I think that's a 75 millimeter anti-tank gun. I drop down my anti-tank gun there, set up shop. Chaffee is right there and still running around, pretty menacing, killing machine gunners and infantry all over the place, man. I had to tell one of the guys to get an anti-tank rifleman because they're very good against light vehicles. Then I noticed another Chaffee. So now there's 2 Chafees in the middle, and then they're causing damage. The Chaffee is actually probably one of the best light tanks around. It's got good armor, much armor, even more than the Stuart. And its gun, the 75mm M6, is actually almost better than the almost better than the Sherman's gun. So it's got very good armor piercing capability and good HE capability too. Don't mess with it. It's kind of like the Crusader. Do not underestimate its firepower because it's very good. So right there, the Type 90 destroys that first Chaffee, and it's moving up to destroy the second one. I'm just kind of watching it because I didn't have a whole lot else to do. The Type 90 fires, but it misses, but the tank doesn't react. And then I think the next shot here, which fires in about a second or two, yeah, that only destroys the turret. But the tank actually doesn't move, so I'm assuming that the hull gets destroyed later. Yeah, no, that gets the track. There's a 37mm M3 anti-tank gun there, right above the flag. Oh yeah, that shot there blows up the hull. Catastrophic detonation of the Chaffee. I know there's a vehicle on the corner there, in the top right, but I wasn't really paying attention to that. My other guy apparently bought a mortar in the middle there. To bomb some infantrymen, to bomb the point, because he's got a whole bunch of infantry running up now. And it's true, he's getting plenty of casualties there on them. Like if you look at the kill feed, he's marching up a whole bunch of infantry. There, I noticed that there's the Jeep's back on the left flank there, so move up my Type 90 to spray it with his 2 machine guns. Fires the machine gun and the port one, or the main and the port one. I tell him to move back a bit. But then, right there, apparently there was a 75mm 76mm M5 AT gun. It fired an HE shell, and I fired another one, which destroyed the hull, and then the engine, and then the hull of my Type 90. Here comes the Jeep now. So now I'm worried, because now this Jeep is going to come menacing, and there's really not a whole lot I can do. The Jeep pretty much mows down a few infantry, except I managed to set most of all the guys that came out of the Type 99, but I managed to set the engine of it on fire. So that means they have to get out, and it's useless for a little while. They can still operate the gun, but the engine and stuff, they can't move it, so that's good. In the middle there, my ally asks for some help taking the center, because apparently they're capping the flag, and now there's another Stuart moving up. I asked my anti-tank gun that I have stationed handily there to fire, but he misses because it was a bad angle. I tell my anti-tank to swivel himself over and aim at the target, but there's the rock in the way, and now I'm getting really worried because the rock is in the way, and now he's to traverse the gun again. Thank God he fired an AP round there though, and then the AT gun fires, but it only damages the track. I tell him to deploy sandbags, but this was a very bad idea because if you deploy sandbags on a light anti-tank gun, it prevents the anti-tank from firing because it's a low angle. Luckily, I had a rifleman handy, and I tell him to throw a Molotov on that Stuart, and the Stuart's engine becomes set on fire, which basically means that the tank is toast because the hull will be destroyed. So that threat's gone. Anti-tank gun is now in a stupid spot. As you can see the kill feed there's a whole bunch of infantry getting mowed down in the middle. I'm sorry I couldn't watch that, but I was really worried about my flank. Yeah, quickly jump back to the middle. There's a whole bunch of infantry casualties. J-Bob is on the right there, just mowing down the enemies pretty much as they spawn and just causing catastrophic amounts of damage to them. We're pretty much slaughtering them right now. If you look at the score, it's like, I don't know, 130. They have 134, and we have like what, 200 something. So that's pretty good, or 300 even. I don't know, but whatever it is, we're slaughtering them. Yeah, there's still some infantry up in my flank. I'm not really confident in my flank security. I'm looking for a vehicle to buy here. And yeah, J-Bob says look at his score right now, and I do. He's very good. 6-1 on vehicles and a whole bunch of infantry. I buy a 200mm mortar here because I think it's just, I don't know, they're fun to use. I've used them in my previous videos, so why not use them again, pretty much. I buy him here, and I deploy him. I don't think I use him right away, however. I'm just trying to check out the various ranges. Oh yeah, and apparently that some guy got back on the Jeep's machine gun, so now that Jeep is still a menace. At this point, I buy a Hoey. I like the Hoey. It's basically like the Japanese equivalent to the M8 Scott. It's got pretty good armor, light armor, and a fast-firing 75mm gun that only has high explosive rounds. So it's very good against infantry and fortifications and anti-tank guns because it can quickly outgun AT guns through its arcing shells that can shoot a pretty far distance. But it doesn't have a 50 cal like the M8 Scott, but it's basically like that. Anyway, I like it because I thought it was good for the moment because he only had soft targets and no armor. There's an explosion there, and the infantry are still moving up, and I'm just targeting my 200mm. This video is over in about 5 seconds, so please check out the next part.